Welcome to Cities Skylines and the city of Waterside. Now this is probably going to be the last part of this series, purely and simply because we are now approaching 30,000 industrial. I'm not sure how long that's going to take. It's been a bit of a slog, guys. It's been whole campaign has taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, and with that view I'd like to thank any of you who've stuck with it through all. I think it's about 40 parts. I think this might be part 41. I've lost track actually, to be honest, and I must admit the last part has been the biggest challenge of all. I thought that once I'd got to 100,000 it would have just all dropped into place and been quite plain sailing, but I've had to put a lot of hours in off camera. I mean, this is the city now that's approximately 5 hours since the last recording, and I must admit it's been very, very difficult to kind of present these parts as not much changes, but there have been some big changes, and one of them is this kind of a high-speed bypass I've built up round here just to try and take some of the pressure off of this junction here. It's eased it a bit so it flows, but if I kind of show you here, we still got massive tailbacks all around here. As I say, this is pulling off some of the traffic from these areas, but I'm not sure how effective it's going to be. I mean, I might be able to. I mean, I've been putting these spurs in off and on like this just to try and feed some of the traffic through, but it's been a bit of a drag all the way through, keeping the city going, keeping it growing, and you can see now we're slowly building up towards getting that final distinct building. And the other thing I like to say is I had one distinct building which somebody actually reminded me of, but I had not built, and that is Paradox Plaza. I'm just going to put it down now. I've got some in the city already, but I'll put another one down just to show you. And this is the one you get from actually logging into your Paradox account in Cities Skylines, and I had forgotten completely all about the fact that I hadn't done that. So there was a bit of a minor fail there, guys. And so this is the city. So what we're going to do is just keep letting it run through. A couple of tips that I've learned is that if you're trying to increase the industry in here, you can see we've got 7 to go now, is going to getting some specialisation in, but you've got to experiment with it. Actually helps, one, because it recruits less people, and also it's almost like the city wants some form of specialisation. And the way I actually got some of the later growth was by putting out farming. I did try up here doing some oil, but as you can see, nothing actually happened. But I did expand the forestry a bit more down here. Sorry, I'm flashing all over the screen. And you can see here I've kind of expanded the forestry, and that seems to have responded. So if you get to the city really big and you're trying to grow something out, it pays to zone different areas here, because like here I've zoned some industry here and it's growing slowly, because the city you can zone a big area, say over here, and it doesn't grow, and then you can zone another little bit over here and it actually grows very, very quickly, because it's almost like the demand for industry and commercial and all that varies across where you want to build stuff. And just going to go here, and we've got it. There we are, the Eiffel Tower. And the question is, where are we going to put it? I want to put it somewhere representative because it's the last building. I mean, can we drop it right in the centre of the city? No. I mean, will it fit in here, or is it going to be? It's going to be a bit too big, isn't it? I mean, I could put it down here. I mean, it would. I mean, it really should be on a boulevard or something like that, but we don't really have one. I certainly don't want to stick it in. I mean, this is a commercial area here. We've got trams running around here. We can't really. I don't want to break the tram lines here. How about here? Got a little bit of traffic here flowing. Oh, we got a. So maybe we can. I take this out, and there's like a road here that doesn't do much. So, how about we drop it in here? Maybe if I. Maybe if I take this area out here. Sorry guys, but this is bigger than you, I'm afraid. And we're just going to... There we are. And we can just drop in you just pick that up. You can just drop you there. And that is it. It is the Eiffel Tower. And the project is complete. We've got just managed to hang on to 250,000. It shot up to about 260 and then it started to fall and drop away again. So let's just have a tour of the city. As I say, I would definitely like to thank you guys, any of you guys who stuck through the whole series. I'd like to thank you for sticking with it. Hope you found it interesting. And you can see I'm just going to have a tour of the city. There's the London Eye, there's Colossal Offices and the Gherkin, and I think this is a Cathedral Plentitude, and I think this is a service offices. I mean, the buildings have been scattered around, and of course we're going to go back to the view I like most of all, which is this view of the Statue of Liberty, kind of running through the city. Actually, let's do this. Options. Just gonna put that back on. Resume game. Let's have a day-night cycle, just so we can see the city going into night. As I say, it's been a very, very interesting exercise to do. And as I say, I do want to thank you guys for sticking with it and watching it through, and especially these later episodes, which have been a little bit of a struggle, I must admit, because it's difficult to present something which is and talk about a city that's not changing very much over time. I mean, I've been aware of the changes and things that have been done, but I'm very much aware that you guys can come in and see these recordings and think, oh, not much has changed. Must admit, the ships here has been really fascinating. You can see now there's still a little bit of congestion on it, but this has worked really well. And this is one of the key lessons I've learned from doing this Let's Play, is that you can use ships to move cargo between ports. Now, these ships are actually moving the cargo around, and the sheer amount of infrastructure I've put in. I did have a train. I want to show you this, guys. Definitely want to show you this if I can find it. I don't know if it's actually improved. Nope, it's still here. I ended up building this massive here. I've got a great big train jam here that's kind of built up over time with these trains coming in and out of the city. You can see here I've had so much coming into the city. You can see here these trains coming through here. and you can see that they've actually kind of clogged up. At one point they were queued up, hence this very strange junction here, because at one point this line was crossing this line, so I put this kind of relief line in over the top. But you can see the sheer amount of cargo that's been moved around. Bearing in mind that in this city there's only one passenger port terminal in here, and I think there's another one up here. So the vast majority of all this train traffic is goods coming in and out and moving around the city. I think that's really a key factor. I mean, I did consider kind of taking this rail line and producing an external connection this way, but I thought I was too close to the end, and I thought, well, I just can't see the point of that. I mean, it'd be really nice. Again, this is, you could say, my wish list for this, for the maybe the next change is to have cargo aircraft coming in, or maybe even canals. That could be fun, is to be able to have canals on the city. So we're just gonna. I think it's moving. It's moving quite slowly. So we'll just keep talking. Now, traffic situation. I just want to show you this as well, guys. You can see that this junction here has been, as I say, the traffic flows, and I've built these various relief roads in and out and all that, and it kind of eases the traffic and it keeps it flowing, I think. But you can see up here where it's actually started to seize quite badly, and if I was going to go on with this city, I would start maybe doing some major restructuring, because you can see this industrial area here is kind of got very clogged up, and I think what I would do, especially with the buses, so I think maybe what I would do is come in here to the budget, and where's the buses? I think I might reduce the bus budget a bit, just to try and, because there's so many buses blocked up in this area here. So that's one key point. As I say, I know I'm rambling a bit, but I just want to show you guys the dark cycle, see what the city looks like at night, because I've been playing this for days on continuous daylight cycle. So I just want to, before I finish, I just want to show you what it looks at night and the sun setting over the city, because I say this is my favourite view of the city there. Does that actually turn? Does that actually turn? Oh, it does. It does. Well, that's cool. I didn't realise that actually turned very slowly. The London Eye. I know it turns in real life. I mean, I've never been on it. I'm a typical person. I live within a kind of a relatively easy commuter distance of London, but I hate going to the city. I'm a country guy. I hate big built up areas, yet I'm building a city with 250,000 people in it. Okay, work that one out, guys. So yeah, but I am a country, but I must admit I don't really like going to London. I think it's quite a few years since I've been there, so yes, I know what the London Eye is. I've never been on it, so we're just going to let it get dark and have a look round, and then I think that's where I'm going to bring it to an end, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the series. I've certainly enjoyed making it, and it's been fascinating, and the things I've learnt about this game just by doing this exercise. So if you play Cities Skylines, I certainly recommend having a go of just starting from scratch, trying to build, say, kind of a population of 200,000, unlocking things and letting the city grow organically. And as I say, I certainly recommend doing that. I think it's been a very good exercise. Now for the future, I'm going to take a break from doing City Skylines, because I'm kind of coming into a little bit of a busy period of my real life job at the moment, so I'm going to have to be very careful what I can record. Plus I think I'm a little bit tapped out now. I've been doing this now for quite some time, but I will be back. I want to do a Snowfall city, a proper one. My Coldfinger one, and with all respect to Colossal Orders, their winter maps were not particularly that good, so I'm going to look at a custom winter map. I won't make one, but I will go out on Steam and have a look to see what winter maps there. You can see the sun's now starting to come down over the city. Is it that way or that way? Can't remember now. And look at, see if there's any good custom maps out there to do a snowfall city on it. It won't be a massive city. I just want to kind of do a really good showcase of the snowfall DLC. As I say, my Coldfinger one wasn't particularly very good. I just wasn't comfortable with the map, and it kind of showed in the recordings, and that's why I stopped it in the end. And of course, if a new DLC or anything else comes out related to this game, I will be covering that, and I will be buying it, because I do really love this game. I could play it for hours. In fact, I do play it for hours. I do have other cities I've built privately, you know, just kind of fiddling around doing ones. There's a really small town one once, which is just, I think it was about, I kind of stopped about 6,000 just for the fun of it. So now another point actually while I'm talking about it, it's if you build big cities like this, you do need a lot of access to water, because you can see I've got water pumps over here, and I actually had another water pump here, and it actually dried the river out. And you can see over here, the water pumps here have started to drain out this river, and I had to move some water pumps over to here, and you can see these have kind of drained some of the flow out of the river. So if you build a really big city, you need a really solid supply of water, and that's just starting to get dark. So we're just going to zoom in, kind of watch the sun kind of start to settle on the city. And that's it, yeah, that's the view I'm looking for. And we're just going to watch the city as I ramble on, coming down here, and we're just kind of going to get rid of the interface because I'm not using it anyway. There we are. This is it, the aircraft flying over, the ships plying their trade as the darkness settles onto the city, and then got the sun setting. And I suppose this is quite an opportune way of presenting the end of the series. The sun setting on the city of Waterside and the lights coming up. Oh, I think that's awesome. I really love that. That's spectacular. And yes, the sun sets on Waterside for the last time. The ship's still going, it's still thriving as a city. And there it goes. And as I say, a final point, I do like to thank any of you guys who've stuck through my eccentricities and my sometimes poor commentary. I'm aware that sometimes I get really wrapped up, especially with this game, wrapped up in what I'm doing, and I forget to talk. And as I say, I'd just like to thank you. And if any of you guys have commented, I'd like to thank you for that as well. And even if my series is finished, if you think anything else, I'll still be watching and tracking. And as I say, and I will be back. That's the key factor. There will be more City Skylines. And as I say, one thing I've done is a nice kind of sky view of the city now. Look at that. I know I'm aware that I didn't do that much on the aesthetics. I will one day do something and bring in some mods, and we'll build a very aesthetic city. That might be another project. Or maybe even the Snowfall one. Maybe we'll fire up the mods and kind of really bring in the thing. Bring in the aesthetics of the city and build a city. I don't really want to recreate a city, but maybe we'll create a hypothetical city of the future. See, here we got our thing. So we're just going to have one last tour of the city. This is our Hadron Collider, supplying the power to the city. And we got, can't remember what this is. I think that's there. And of course we've got the Arc de Triomphe up here, kind of standing splendidly into its own area. And we've got the various other unique buildings scattered around the city. I can't remember. There's the Eden Project I mean, I don't want to go back to the interface to find it. I think that's the medical centre. Looks a bit futuristic in its own way. And of course there's our last distinct building, the Eiffel Tower, rising above the city. Probably the tallest building in the city, which is quite fitting really. And of course down to the London Eye and the Statue of Liberty, and across here to these office blocks, and of course over here we've got our international airport with the red of the commercial of our nightlife. So we got this here, and I think this is the Starlift one, and the airport's going. There's a sense of satisfaction. Of course, the other thing we want to go and look at, and probably won't be able to see much in this area here, is we got the observatory next to our dam, and that actually worked very well at the end. I had some reservations about how well the dam would work, and we got this area here growing. And of course we got the lights there from the things and the background. I must admit I'm very, very happy, and I think that this is where I'm going to leave it, guys. And I'm just going to go back to my favourite view, and this is where I think the best place to finish is going to be. So we're just going to come in here, just get over there, and maybe just turn around a little bit. I think that's it. We've got the ships sailing in the front path, and this is where I'm going to say goodbye, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the series. I've really enjoyed making it. I've learnt a lot. I hope it's been beneficial for you and shown you what can be done and how things can be done, especially in the early parts when we were having the fun destroying the city to get some of the distinct buildings. It goes to show that you can build a city and unlock all the distinct buildings within the city without having to kind of destroy, reset and reload. So that's it. And so just one more final thanks for any of you guys who've stuck with the series, and above all, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.